The War Between Stars, Part 1, The Arrival. In the distant reaches of the universe, a time came when the sky above Earth was not the endless expanse it once seemed. It became a battleground, a place where humanity's deepest fears and desires collided with the unknown. The war that would follow would span generations and transform humanity in ways no one could have predicted. It all began with a transmission. It was nothing but a series of cryptic signals intercepted by a telescope in Antarctica. At first, the scientists dismissed it as natural radio interference, perhaps from a distant star or some anomaly in space. But the signals grew stronger over weeks. Patterns began to emerge, and what had once been random noise became undeniable. For months, the world's leading minds scrambled to decode the message. It wasn't until a small group of astrophysicists in a forgotten corner of the world deciphered the code that the truth came crashing down. They were not alone. The message was a warning. Part 2. The First Contact. The world's governments were thrust into chaos. The United Nations convened emergency sessions, but no one knew what to do. A new kind of fear gripped the hearts of humanity. Fear of the unknown. Fear of an alien intelligence far beyond anything Earth had ever seen. The message that had been decoded was simple. We are coming. Prepare yourselves. And then, a week after the message was received, it happened. The skies lit up. In the vastness of space, an enormous vessel appeared on Earth's radar, a massive ship, unlike anything humanity had ever built. It hovered near Jupiter for weeks before approaching Earth. The craft was a marvel of alien engineering, a gleaming, smooth-surfaced monstrosity that defied all known principles of physics. The governments, still reeling from the shock, debated how to respond. Should they attack? Should they greet them with open arms? The debates raged for days, but there was no consensus. Then, the vessel began to descend. It landed on the surface of the Pacific Ocean, sending massive shockwaves through the waters. Its arrival was marked by an eerie silence, no communication, no show of force, just the unsettling presence of an otherworldly ship sitting ominously on Earth's surface. Finally, after days of tense waiting, a delegation of humans, including representatives from all over the world, boarded the ship, hoping for peace. It was a move that many saw as both brave and foolhardy. The beings that greeted them were unlike anything anyone could have imagined. Their bodies were tall and slender, wrapped in shimmering skin that seemed to ripple with strange energy. They had no visible eyes, but their minds were powerful enough to make direct contact with the humans in the room, speaking directly into their minds. "We are the Talnari," one of them communicated, their voice not heard, but felt deep within the minds of the humans. "We come in peace, but we have no place for weakness." The words sent a chill through the hearts of everyone present. It was a warning, though they couldn't yet understand what it meant. And before anyone could ask further questions, the Talnari began to show them what they were capable of. With a flick of their hands, the alien beings manipulated the very air around them, creating energy constructs and altering matter at will. The humans could only stand in awe, watching as the Talnari displayed a level of technological mastery that was far beyond anything Earth had ever dreamed of. "We seek your cooperation," the Talnari continued. "But if you refuse us, there will be consequences." Part 3. The war begins. A year passed. What began as a seemingly peaceful first contact turned into a nightmare. The Talnari made demands that humanity could not fulfill. They sought Earth's resources, but they also had a deeper goal. They needed to harness the energy from Earth's population to fuel a war against another alien faction, one they had been fighting for eons. The war was not just a battle for survival. It was a battle for supremacy across the stars. Humanity, caught between cooperation and resistance, could not reconcile the two. The Talnari's patience began to run out. They gave humanity an ultimatum: join them in the war, or be crushed under their might. Some nations tried to resist, thinking they could fight back with Earth's weapons. But when the Talnari demonstrated their advanced warships and energy weapons, it became clear that the Earth's military was hopelessly outmatched. Entire cities were wiped out in a matter of hours. The Tal'Nari offered no mercy. It was then that the coalition of Earth was formed, an alliance of nations, determined to fight for their survival. But they were desperate. Humanity was on the brink of extinction, and their only hope lay in the unthinkable, to find a way to fight the Tal'Nari with the very technology they had shared. The coalition began to reverse engineer the Tal'Nari technology, a daunting task given the complexity of their advancements. But with the help of a brilliant young scientist, Dr. Sarah Jong, humanity made a breakthrough. Using a fragment of Tal'Nari energy cells, she managed to create the first human-made hybrid energy weapon, a weapon that could theoretically match the Tal'Nari's firepower. At the same time, the war raged on in the stars. The Tal'Nari's fleet had grown larger, their forces stronger, but there was another force, the Ryan, who had been in conflict with the Tal'Nari for centuries, a dark and malevolent species that had set its sights on Earth. After hearing of the Tal'Nari's arrival, they were a race of beings made entirely of living dark matter, their forms like swirling shadows, capable of altering reality itself. The Ryan attacked without warning, targeting Tal'Nari colonies on the outer rim of the solar system. The two alien factions clashed in brutal space battles, each trying to establish dominance. But Earth, caught in the middle, was now a battleground, with human cities shattered and the planet itself becoming a contested war zone. Part 4. The Last Stand. The war reached its climax in the shadow of the moon. Earth's makeshift fleet, crafted from reverse-engineered Tal'Nari technology, had finally assembled. Led by Admiral John Rooker, a man who had lost his family to the Tal'Nari's wrath, humanity's forces prepared for the final battle. They would not go down without a fight. Rooker's fleet stood ready, each ship a testament to humanity's resilience and determination. The Tal'Nari fleet approached, their ships gleaming like celestial predators. But something unexpected happened. The Ryan fleet appeared from the darkness, attacking the Tal'Nari ships without warning. The two alien factions clashed in a massive, explosive confrontation. The battle was fierce, and it seemed that the Tal'Nari might be pushed back. But the Ryan, with their ability to manipulate space-time, caused massive disruptions in the battlefield. Ships were ripped apart by gravitational anomalies, and reality itself bent under their influence. It was then that Dr. Jong unveiled her final weapon, a hybrid device capable of channeling the energy from both Tal'Nari and Ryan technologies. This weapon could alter the course of the war. It was humanity's last hope. As Admiral Rooker's fleet fought desperately to hold the line, Dr. Jong activated the device. A wave of energy pulsed outward, causing both the Tal'Nari and Ryan fleets to falter. In that moment of vulnerability, Earth's forces launched a decisive counterattack, but the Tal'Nari, with their immense power, retaliated fiercely. And as the final strike came, humanity faced an uncertain fate. Part 5. The Turning Tide. The explosion of energy that erupted from Dr. Jang's weapon was unlike anything the humans had ever seen. It was as though the very fabric of space had been torn apart. The Tal'Nari and Ryan fleets paused in momentary confusion, their ships shuddering as the wave of energy struck them. Admiral Rooker, on the bridge of the Excalibur, watched as the alien fleets faltered. It was a brief opening, perhaps the only one they would get. "Now, Captain, all ships fire everything," Rooker barked. The human fleet opened fire, launching every available weapon they had. The newly designed energy cannons, drawn from the Tal'Nari technology, sent beams of pure destructive force toward the Tal'Nari vessels. The explosion of impact rocked the battlefield, but the Tal'Nari's shields deflected much of the damage. Still, they were not invincible. The Ryan, seeing the shift, seized the opportunity. Their dark matter vessels surged forward, slipping through the rifts in space-time they had created. Their forms twisted and shifted, becoming living shadows that consumed everything in their path. They were a living, maddened storm of energy and matter, but their reckless hunger made them unpredictable. As the chaos of battle ensued, Earth's fleet held its ground. In the skies above, amidst the fire and smoke, the remnants of human civilization fought not just for survival, but for the future of their world. Part 6. The Shattered Alliance. The war between the Talneri and the Ryan was devastating. Entire fleets were destroyed in mere hours, and the space between Earth and the outer planets was littered with the wreckage of once mighty ships. Amid the destruction, Earth's forces pushed forward, hoping to break the stalemate. But as the fighting raged on, the fragile alliance between humans and Talneri began to crack. The Talneri, despite their initial claims of cooperation, were increasingly insistent on their demands. They wanted Earth's resources, but more than that, they wanted humanity to become part of their empire, to serve as soldiers and slaves in their war across the stars. Some factions within Earth began to question whether the Talneri could be trusted at all. The horrors they had inflicted upon human cities destroyed without warning, whole populations decimated, could never be forgotten. Even if the war against the Ryan seemed to be the more immediate threat, there were those who feared the Talneri would turn on humanity once their enemies were vanquished. In the midst of the growing distrust, a powerful faction within Earth's resistance began to form, one that sought to rid the planet of both the Talneri and the Ryan. Led by General Lydia Farrow, an exiled military leader who had lost her family in the early days of the invasion. The group pushed for independence from the Talneri, and the new strategy: destroy the Talneri first and then face the Ryan with all of humanity's might. General Farrow was an outspoken critic of humanity's dependence on alien technology, which she viewed as a dangerous crutch. "We've been enslaved by these creatures," she said in a speech to the Earth Coalition. "First, it was their technology, then it was their power, and now they want us to bend to their will. We can't afford to let them take our future. We must fight for it." Her words resonated with many who felt powerless in the face of overwhelming alien might. But the question remained: could Earth defeat the Talneri without their technology? Could humanity survive without the very weapons that had kept them alive? Part 7. The Last Hope. While the debates raged on the surface, the war in space was reaching a fever pitch. The Talneri and the Ryan were locked in an ever-spiraling conflict, each side refusing to relent. The human fleet, though battered and outnumbered, held a small advantage thanks to their newfound hybrid technology. But there was no longer any doubt in Admiral Rooker's mind: humanity needed to take control of its destiny. They needed to build their own future, one where they were not beholden to the whims of alien powers. Rooker and his crew aboard the Excalibur embarked on a mission to retrieve one final piece of crucial technology, the heart of the Talneri ship that had first arrived on Earth. Still anchored on the ocean floor, the core of this ship held the key to creating a weapon capable of destroying the Talneri's central command ship, the Irithvan, once and for all. The journey was perilous. The Talneri had left behind automated defense systems on their craft, and the ocean depths were filled with untold dangers. But Rooker's crew persevered, diving into the dark abyss with only a handful of ships. They fought off mechanical defenses and explored the wreckage, recovering vital components that would give Earth's forces a fighting chance. As they returned to the surface, their hands full of critical technology, Dr. Jong immediately went to work, combining the newfound knowledge with the hybrid energy systems humanity had developed. It was a race against time. The Irithvan was en route to Earth, its massive fleet following close behind, and humanity had only one chance to strike. Part 8. The Final Battle. The final battle came quickly. The Excalibur led the charge, joined by a newly formed fleet of Earth ships, retrofitted with Talneri and human technology. The fleet moved into position as the Talneri's flagship loomed large on the horizon. The war had lasted 4 years, but now it came down to this single moment. The fate of Earth would be determined by one final clash, humanity's last stand against an alien empire determined to subjugate them. The battle was fierce, and as Earth's forces poured all of their energy into the Talneri fleet, something unexpected happened. The Ryan returned, this time with a new weapon, a destabilizing pulse that sent waves of energy crashing through space itself, threatening to tear apart both fleets. The Talneri and Ryan fought as though they were the same enemy, unwilling to allow Earth to escape their grasp. At the heart of the chaos, Admiral Rooker and Dr. John the final assault. Using the stolen Talneri core, they activated the hybrid weapon. A beam of pure energy shot through space, striking the Irithvan directly. The Talneri flagship shuddered, the shockwave causing all other ships in the vicinity to falter. With a catastrophic explosion, the Talneri flagship was torn apart. The remaining Talneri ships hesitated, their control shaken, and Earth's forces pressed forward, taking advantage of the momentary confusion. The tide had turned. The war, which had seemed endless, was over. Part 9. Aftermath. In the wake of the destruction, the surviving Talneri withdrew. Their forces scattered across the stars, and the Ryan retreated into the shadows. The Earth Coalition stood victorious, but at great cost. The war had changed everything. The planet was scarred, the cities in ruins. Countless lives had been lost, and humanity's future was uncertain. But in the aftermath of the battle, one thing was clear. Earth had earned its place among the stars. General Lydia Farrow's resistance, which had been essential to the final victory, was now recognized as the key to Earth's independence. But even she knew that the war was not truly over. The universe was vast, and there were always more battles to come. For the first time in history, humanity stood at the edge of the cosmos, no longer bound by the will of others, but free to chart its own path. As Admiral Rooker looked out across the battlefield, he whispered to himself, "We are the last of our kind, and we will survive."